David, one of the legends of world basketball, is not only famous for his on-court victories, but also for his positive contributions to the community. Despite everything from fame to fortune to career achievements, he still can't avoid the barriers of racism that people of color face in society. David's story not only reflects the challenges he faced, but also the journey to turn those difficulties into a driving force for meaningful change, creating a strong legacy for the next generation. As David stepped out of the car and headed for his private jet, he couldn't have imagined that this moment would become a big challenge in his life. For someone who has achieved a lot of success in his basketball career and in the business field, David always believes that he has overcome prejudices and social barriers. His success is the clearest proof of that. A sports legend, an icon, a person celebrated not only for talent but also for personality. But when a security guard suddenly asks him to stop and check his papers, he feels like the whole world he's been trying to build suddenly collapses. David's mood instantly shifts from confidence to confusion and tension. As someone who is so used to security checks, he is not afraid to show documents. But this time, the difference was not the request for documents but the attitude of the security guards. The way he was treated, the inexplicable suspicion, made David feel that something was wrong. He wondered, why would someone like me, with all that I have achieved, be so suspicious? Why do I have to prove that I have the right to board my private jet? The tension began to rise dramatically when David realized that the problem was not just in checking the papers, but in the way he was perceived. The security guard did not see him as a successful person, but only as a person of color, and thereby doubting his abilities. For David, it was not an ordinary incident but a confrontation with a very clear form of racism. He could feel the disrespect in the security guard's actions, and it made him feel deeply hurt. Although people see him as a star, a successful person, in some people, he is still just a person of color with prejudices from society. Feelings of confusion and frustration led David to face a truth he had never thought of. Even though he had achieved all that society considered successful, he still couldn't escape racism. With each step he took closer to the plane, the tension became more pronounced. He was not just confronted by a security guard, but by a deeper system of discrimination that he had tried to ignore for so many years. As the incident progressed, David felt a strong emotion rise in his heart: anger. This feeling is not ordinary anger, but anger that comes from the injustice he faces. David has had to overcome many challenges in life, from the difficult early days of his basketball career to building successful businesses. He was always proud to be able to overcome all barriers, but this time, he couldn't continue to deny the fact that he was still a prejudiced person, judged by the color of his skin. David's mood at this time was not only anger but also deep disappointment. He felt like he was not only personally offended, but also represented an oppressed community. He is an influencer, an international star, but still does not escape the feeling of being looked down upon, discriminated against because of the color of his skin. His anger is not hatred but frustration with an unfair society where people of color are still viewed through a negative lens, no matter how great they may have achieved. But as soon as anger mounted, David realized that anger was not the way to solve the problem. He didn't want to turn this emotion into a negative action, but wanted to transform it into a positive motivation. Instead of suffering in silence, David decided to take action. He cannot let this racism stop at his own business but must open up a larger dialogue, a struggle not only for himself but for all those who have suffered prejudice. Out of anger, David began to form a strong will and determination to change. He understood that, in order to change, he couldn't just keep his emotions to himself. He needs to share this story with the public so that everyone can understand and feel what he is going through. The determination in him became a source of motivation for him to speak out, to promote a dialogue about racism. He realized that only when others saw the problem, when they acted together, could real change be made. David doesn't just want to talk about his pain. He wants to use his story to encourage others to stand up and fight for justice. He couldn't accept silence, and that spurred him to act. His story is not just a personal complaint, but a call to action, a powerful motivation to promote change in society. When David shares his story, he is not just recounting a personal experience, but a powerful message to the world. After the airport incident, David did not let negative emotions take over him, but instead, he used the same experience to spark a broad dialogue about racism. He understands that silence won't bring about change, and to make a difference, he needs to speak up. David's mood at this time is no longer a mere anger, but a resoluteness and determination to bring change to society. When he shares his story, it's not just to release anger, but also a call to action. David emphasized that racism not only affects him, but is a problem for millions of people around the world. He didn't want other people's lives to have to endure the same experiences as him, and that motivated him to take action. David's appeal is not only an invitation to change, but also a powerful request for those in authority. He urged people to face the fact that racism still exists in modern society, and that hiding or keeping silent only makes the problem worse. In order to change, one needs to dare to face the problem, even if it is annoying and worsens the image of society. With the support of the community, David's story spread quickly and became a media phenomenon. He received strong support from fans, from famous stars and social activists. His video has garnered millions of views and positive comments, and has become a powerful reminder of the importance of confronting sensitive social issues such as racism. David's next action is not only to share the story, but also to ask the authorities to take action. The airport where the incident occurred was responsible and committed to implementing staff training programs on bias awareness. The security guard, who had discriminated against David, was fired, which shows a marked and specific change from David's actions. David knew that this was just the first step, but he was making waves of change. He spoke up not only for himself, but for all those who were suffering discrimination and oppression. His experience became a small revolution, encouraging many people to stand up and fight for justice. David believes that his actions will create a turning point, promoting change from within society. He doesn't just want to change an individual or an event, he wants to change a system. David's story is a clear demonstration of the power of standing up and telling the truth. No one can change a system by quietly enduring it, and David has shown that change starts with small actions, strong calls, and most importantly, perseverance that never gives up. David continues his journey with the Wings of Hope program, an initiative that helps people in need of relief during natural disasters. However, David has not stopped at relief flights. David has turned this program into an opportunity to help young people from impoverished communities. He organizes in-flight learning sessions where students from disadvantaged families can access new learning opportunities. This program is not only about providing relief goods, but also about inspiring dreams for young people, helping them to realize that they can overcome social barriers and pursue their dreams. David's mood during this period is a combination of faith and contentment. He feels happy when he sees that he can help others. He realized that he could create real opportunities for others, opening doors for young people who didn't have access to high-end careers. The Wings of Hope program has attracted media attention and received strong support from individuals and organizations. When the Liftoff program was launched, David not only expanded his influence but also created a lasting legacy. This program provides scholarships, training, and practical opportunities for young people from disadvantaged communities who want to pursue a career in the aviation industry. David met with the students in person, encouraged them, emphasized that they deserve this opportunity and must be confident in pursuing their dreams. David's mood at this time is pride and firm belief in the future. He sees change not only in the lives of the people he helps, but also in his own life. David has proven that it is possible for an individual to change an entire system if they have the determination. He knows that his legacy is not just about sporting or business achievements, but also about creating opportunities for young people so that they can rise in life and achieve their dreams. David's legacy is not a legacy of personal greatness, but one that empowers others. He has overcome all challenges and continues to contribute to the community, proving that, no matter what prejudices or difficulties anyone may encounter, as long as they have faith and action, they will be able to change the world around them.